Hello everyone, I am SuperBluno1, and today I'm going to be showing you all how I reached around 10,000 in Bloons Tower Defense 5. It's been a long time coming, over 7 months in the process, and I'm excited to share the strategies I used and the new breakthroughs in the game that allowed me to get this far. So, after getting the previous world record of around 4,114 on January 9th this year, I decided that I wanted to set a record that would last not just for now, but for the ages. In that run, I had farmed 271 million lives and stacked 65 temples on the map. And that run ended up beating the previous world record by over 1,000 rounds. However, for my next run, I decided that I would farm all the way to the integer limit of 2,147,483,647 lives, which is the maximum amount of lives you can achieve in this game. So, at February 9th, I started my run. Now, how would I do this? Well, I started the same way as I did in my previous run, by using the Banana Farmer Pro. You see, the Banana Farmer Pro has the ability to not only collect bananas, but once it has collected just a single banana, it will continue to spit out banana peels for the rest of the round and send balloons back without damaging them. In combination with a 1-1 Ice Tower and a 1-3 Glue Gunner, I was able to infinitely stall around, as seen in this demonstration by BTD5 YouTuber Phenomix. While the round was stalled, I built up 180 helicopters and constantly used their supply crate abilities to gain extra cash and extra lives. This allowed me to gain lives at a rate of around 2.5 million lives each hour, which sounds like a lot, but it still took me over an entire month to farm all 2.147 billion lives. But now, you're probably wondering something by looking at the setup. Do you see anything odd? Well, the helicopters are literally stacked on top of each other in the bottom right corner, which is a new technique that was just recently discovered. You see, during the time I was doing my previous free-play run, a new form of tower stacking was discovered that would completely change the way high rounds are done. Up until that point, it was known that you could double-stack chippers with the Chinook ability, and you could place temples on the base of other temples with it. But this new glitch would let you do a whole lot more. On December 11th, 2024, long after I had already started my previous run, BTD5 expert Sylvia discovered a method of stacking temples using the escape button to stack 2 or sometimes even 3 temples right on top of each other, depending on how fast you could micro. This would allow us to stack twice the number of temples on the map, which could be well over 100. But then, while she was teaching this new stacking method to her friend Sapphire, they did something by mistake that allowed them to place towers on the track and in other illegal placements. If this could be replicated, it would allow for any number of towers to be stacked on top of each other. And after a few weeks of trial and error, Sylvia was able to figure out how to do it. Here is a demonstration of it being performed by a now retired BTD5 freeplay expert, Albie M. This technique of stacking towers on top of each other is what allowed me to stack so many helicopters in the bottom right corner, and would soon allow me to stack over 100 temples this way. Once I'd reached the limit on lives, I started setting up my defense, consisting of a total of 169 stacked temples, and all my balloon shippers are double or even triple stacked. In addition, I included snipers along the track to hopefully stall any blimps as they pop out of the balloon shippers, which may or may not have actually helped. After another month, my defense was fully formed, and I was ready to start going up in rounds. And the new defense proved to be quite useful, as I had beaten my previous world record of around 4,114, while still not having lost a single life. By the time I had lost over 271 million lives, I was already past round 7,500, which is considerably farther than the 4,000 rounds I had reached in my previous game with that amount of lives. It was clear this run had the potential for something special, but would round 10,000 actually be possible? That was my ultimate goal, but as I got closer, I started to wonder whether I can actually do it. While I lost less than 160 million lives from round 1 to 7,000, I lost an additional 250 million during the 7,000, and an additional 650 more million during the 8,000s. At the increasing rate my lives were depleting, it seemed like I would be just shy of making it to around 10,000. And on September 8th, that worry came true, as I was on round 9,966 with just under 20 million lives. There's a problem. I was losing over 1 million lives each round, which would put me to survive a maximum of 20 more rounds. Which means I would be so close to reaching my goal, but would be just a bit too far away. Unless, what if I could regain the lives that I had lost? You see, due to the way the game is coded, when you get into super late game, you get locked out of using your special abilities due to all the lag caused by the massive amount of blimps and projectiles on the screen. Unfortunately, this includes the supply crate ability, so I would be unable to gain any lives as the rounds progress. But I had an idea. What if I could infinitely stall a round in late game, just like I did in the early game? I couldn't use the Banana Farmer Pro, since the pills don't work on blimps, and the waves compose almost entirely of Zomagods at this point. But after doing some testing, I found that with 2 perfectly timed snipers, I could infinitely hold a Zomagod in place. The only question would be, could I gain lives faster than the lives I would lose during that round? You see, I could only hold one Zomagod in place at a time, so I'd be leaking all the rest of the blimps. With RBEs around 2.4 million in the extreme late game, we're looking at over 2 million lives lost every round. However, I knew from previously that 180 helicopters, that's the max number of abilities you can activate, would gain 2.5 million lives every hour. All I needed was for the Zomagod to survive for at least an hour without dying. Thankfully, Zomagods have so much health by around 9,966 that they were able to survive over 4 hours before being popped into BFBs. This allowed me to gain 10 million lives each round with the helicopters, for a net gain of 7.5 million lives every round every 4 hours. This allowed me to reach a total of 69 million lives by around 9,974, which is enough to guarantee that even if I managed to leak every single balloon from here on out, I would still survive with over 5 million lives left. So I began setting up a defense, but unfortunately, it didn't work out nearly as well as the first time, and literally every single balloon got through. So I decided to just scrap it and let all the balloons leak from here on out. I live streamed rounds 9,975 onwards on YouTube on September 10th, and after about 30 minutes, it had finally happened. After 7 months in the making, the moment I had been waiting for had finally happened. A moment that just last year was not even being discussed as within the realm of possibility. A moment that my 13 years of playing Bloons Tower Defense has led up to. Round 10,000. Alright. Here we go. Let's put a super monkey in the middle here. And here we go. 9999. Around 10,000 is gonna happen. Here we go. Coding lag is crazy though. But yeah, it is actually overlapping the word easy. Can't believe it's actually happened. Around 10,000. Here we go. I know, I don't even know if it's actually hitting anything. Because I think even on slow motion, yeah, I don't know if it can actually hit, because the blimps are going so fast that they're probably faster than the Super Monkey's projectiles. Let's get a temple. Oh my god. Yeah, there we go. On 10,000. They're actually slightly slowed now because of the lag. And there we go! On 10,000, it's been done. Greatest moment in BTD5 free play history. Let's go. Can't believe we've actually done it. Yeah. It's happened. 7 months in the making. I'm gonna take a screenshot of this. Yeah, there we go. happened. Can't believe it. But yeah. Thank you all for watching the stream. Can't believe it's happened. Around 10,000. There you go. Yeah. So thank you all for watching, and have a good day. Bye.